They both blamed me somehow, said I brought shame to the family even though I hadn't done anything. My sister was 12. Kids at school called her sister of a whore. She tried to kill herself when she was 14. Mom's hand flew to her mouth. She survived, obviously. Lives with Mom now in Nevada. We don't really talk. Dad drank himself to death 3 years ago. Liver failure. I dropped out of school because I couldn't focus on anything except trying to figure out what I'd done wrong. Spent years in therapy trying to understand why my life had exploded. Everyone in our neighborhood knew our business. Mom couldn't keep a job because everywhere she went, someone had heard about the affair. We had to move 4 times in 2 years. Jasper, I'm so sorry, Mom whispered. I don't want your apology. His voice cracked slightly. I want you to understand something. When I found out it wasn't even me who stole from you, that you destroyed my family over a mistake, I wanted to die. I wanted to kill myself because at least then it would all make sense. All that suffering would have a reason, even if the reason was just that I couldn't take it anymore. I felt sick, actually nauseous. I sat down hard in the armchair across from him. But I didn't, Jasper continued. I got help, started putting my life back together piece by piece. Got my GED, started community college. I'm studying accounting. Ironic, right? I'm good with details, with making sure everything adds up correctly. I don't make mistakes. The emphasis on the last word landed like a punch. I spent a year planning what I'd do when I finally confronted you, he said. Thought about exposing your secrets, finding dirt on your family, doing to you what you did to me. I have your son's social media, Mrs. Brennan, his employment history, his girlfriend's information, everything. It wasn't even that hard. I felt my stomach drop. Mom had gone completely pale. But then I realized something, Jasper said, and for the first time his voice softened slightly. Doing that wouldn't fix anything. It wouldn't give me back my family, wouldn't undo the damage. It would just create more pain, and I've had enough pain for one lifetime. Then, why are you here? Mom asked, her voice barely above a whisper. To tell you that your apology letters meant nothing. Your money meant nothing. You can't buy your way out of destroying someone's life. I wanted you to sit here, in your nice house, with your nice son and your nice normal life, and think about how close you came to losing all of it. Because that's how I felt for years, every single day, knowing that everything I'd lost was because of someone else's mistake. He stood up. That's it. That's all I came to say. I wanted you to feel scared just for a few minutes, wondering what I was going to do. That's what you took from me, Mrs. Brennan. The ability to ever feel safe again. He walked to the door, and neither of us moved to stop him. He paused with his hand on the doorknob, looked back at us. I hope you think about me sometimes, he said. When you're doing your research, tracking down people's secrets, convinced you're doing the right thing, I hope you remember the kid whose life you destroyed by accident and wonder how many others you've hurt on purpose. Then, he was gone. The door clicked shut behind him, and the house fell into complete silence except for the ticking of the clock on the wall. Mom stood frozen for a long moment. Then her legs seemed to give out, and she sank down onto the couch where Jasper had been sitting. She put her face in her hands and started to cry. Not the delicate, pretty crying you see in movies. The ugly, gut-wrenching sobs of someone whose entire self-image had just been shattered. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to comfort her. Part of me thought she deserved to feel this way. I settled for sitting next to her, close but not touching. I destroyed that boy's life, she finally managed to say between sobs. I was so sure, so absolutely certain I was right. I know, and I didn't even stop. She looked up at me with red, swollen eyes. Even after I found out about Jasper, I kept doing the same things to other people. The Thompsons, the noise complaint. I could have just talked to them. Yeah, why didn't you stop me? The question caught me off guard. What? You knew what I'd done to Jasper? You saw me going after the Thompsons the same way. Why didn't you say something? I thought about it for a moment. Because people are scared of you, Mom, including me sometimes. You're really good at what you do, at finding information and using it, but you never think about the consequences. You never stop to wonder if maybe you're wrong. She started crying again. I put my arm around her shoulders, and she leaned into me like a child seeking comfort. We sat like that for a long time. The stir-fry on the table went cold. The radio played on in the kitchen. Outside, neighbors went about their normal evening routines, completely unaware that in our house, something fundamental had broken and would need to be rebuilt from scratch. Around 10 p.m., Mom finally pulled herself together enough to speak coherently. I need to make this right. How? I don't know yet, but I can't keep being this person. I can't keep hurting people and justifying it because I think I'm right. I wanted to believe her, but I'd seen my mom operate for too long to think one conversation would change everything. Still, maybe it was a start. The first step would be actually stopping, I said carefully. No more digging into people's lives. No more exposing secrets. No more using information as a weapon. She nodded slowly. I don't know if I can do that. It's who I've been for so long. Then maybe you need help figuring out who you are without it. She looked at me, and I saw something I'd never seen in her eyes before. Uncertainty. Vulnerability. My mom, who'd always been so absolutely sure of everything, suddenly looked lost. I'm scared, she admitted. What if people find out I made such a huge mistake? What if they stop being afraid of me and start coming after me instead? Maybe being feared isn't as important as being decent, I suggested. She didn't respond to that, just pulled a tissue from her pocket, wiped her face, and stood up on shaky legs. I'm going to bed. We can talk more about this tomorrow. I watched her walk down the hallway to her bedroom, this small woman who'd wielded information like a weapon for so long that she'd forgotten how much damage it could do. The door closed behind her, and I was left alone in the living room. My phone buzzed. Another text from Jasper. Thank you for not warning her. I needed her to feel what it's like to wait for something bad to happen. I stared at the message for a long time before responding. Did it help? Confronting her? His reply came a few minutes later. I don't know yet, but at least I said what I needed to say. Whether she actually changes is up to her. For what it's worth, I'm sorry about what happened to you. Not your fault. You were just a kid. But I'd benefited from it, hadn't I? From everyone being too scared of my mom to mess with our family. From the reputation she'd built. I'd walked through life with the protection of her ruthlessness without ever questioning the cost to others. She said she wants to make things right, I typed. We'll see. Talk is cheap. Actions matter. He was right. And I had no idea if my mom was actually capable of change or if this was just temporary guilt that would fade once the shock wore off. I turned off the lights and went to my own room. Through the thin walls, I could hear Mom crying again. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about consequences and mistakes and the families we destroy without meaning to. Sleep didn't come easy that night. The next morning, Mom was already up when I came into the kitchen. She'd made coffee but hadn't drunk any, just sat at the table staring at her mug like it held answers. I'm calling a therapist today, she said without looking up. I need to figure out why I do this. Why I immediately go nuclear instead of trying normal approaches first. That's good. And I'm going to write Jasper a real apology. Not trying to make myself feel better, just acknowledging what I did and taking responsibility. I poured myself coffee and sat down across from her. What about the Thompsons? She winced. I'll drop the HOA complaints. Maybe bake them an apology pie or something. Mom, you can't bake. I'll buy one then. She finally looked at me, and her eyes were still red from crying. I really screwed up, didn't I? Not just with Jasper, with everyone. Yeah. She appreciated that I didn't sugarcoat it. How do I fix 15 years of being the neighborhood terror? I don't know if you can, but you can start by being different going forward. We sat in silence for a while, both of us processing everything that had happened. The woman across from me looked older somehow, like the confrontation with Jasper had aged her overnight. The certainty that had always defined her was gone, replaced by doubt and shame. People are going to notice, she said quietly. When I stop being me, they're going to wonder why. Let them wonder. My phone rang. It was my girlfriend, Kira, calling earlier than usual. Hey, did something happen last night? You posted this really vague thing on Instagram at like 11 p.m. about consequences and mistakes. I'd forgotten about that. I'd been lying in bed, unable to sleep, and posted something cryptic. Yeah, kind of a family thing. I'll explain later. Is your mom okay? The post made it sound serious. I looked at Mom, who was now scrolling through her phone with a strange expression. She will be, I think. After I hung up, Mom showed me her screen. Jasper posted something on Facebook this morning. It was public post, not tagged to anyone specifically, but clearly meant for us to see. Sometimes the hardest thing is not getting revenge, but letting the person who hurt you live with what they've done. I hope I made my point last night. Comments were already rolling in from people who knew him, asking what happened, if he was okay. He hadn't responded to any of them. He's not going to tell anyone, Mom said, sounding relieved. That doesn't make what you did okay. I know, but it means I have a chance to actually change without everyone knowing exactly why. She set her phone down. I need to tell you something about why I am the way I am. I leaned back in my chair, surprised. Mom never talked about her past. When I was 16, my older sister was assaulted by a guy at her school. She told our parents. They didn't believe her. Said she was probably exaggerating or had wanted it and changed her mind after. The guy's family was well connected, and my parents were more worried about causing problems than protecting their own daughter. I'd never heard any of this before. Mom, let me finish. My sister spiraled. Started using drugs, dropped out of school, eventually died of an overdose when she was 23. And the guy who assaulted her? He went on to have a successful career, happy family, never faced any consequences. So I promised myself that if I ever had power, if I ever had the ability to make people face consequences for their actions, I would use it. I would be what my parents weren't for my sister. She took a shaky breath. But I took it too far. I became so focused on making people face consequences that I stopped checking if they actually deserved it. I just assumed I was always right because my cause was righteous. That's not an excuse, I said quietly. I know, but it's an explanation. And I'm telling you because I want you to understand that I have to unlearn decades of thinking this way. It's not going to happen overnight. We talked for another hour, really talked, about her sister, about the research she'd done on the guy who assaulted her, which had gone nowhere because it was too long ago and there was no evidence, about how she'd channeled all that rage into becoming someone feared instead of someone ignored. By the time she left for work that day, we'd established some ground rules. No more invasive research into neighbors. No more digging into people's lives without explicit permission. No more using information as a weapon. If she felt the urge to go nuclear on someone, she had to call me first and talk it through. What if it's an emergency? She asked. Then call the police like a normal person. She actually laughed at that, a small, sad sound. I don't know how to be a normal person. Then learn. The next week was strange. Mom went to her first therapy appointment and came home looking exhausted. She said the therapist had asked her to make a list of every time she'd used her skills to punish or intimidate someone over the past 5 years. I filled 3 pages, she admitted, and I know I'm forgetting some. She'd also written to Jasper, a real letter this time, not trying to make excuses or ask for forgiveness, just taking full responsibility and acknowledging the damage she'd caused. She wasn't sure if she'd send it yet. I keep trying to make it better, she said, showing me draft after draft. But every version sounds like I'm making it about me and my guilt, instead of about what I did to him. Maybe that's because you are making it about you, I suggested gently. She crumpled up the latest draft. You're right. I need to stop trying to feel better and just focus on being honest. On Thursday, something unexpected happened. Mrs. Thompson from 3 doors down knocked on our door. Mom answered it, and I watched from the living room as Mrs. Thompson handed her a bottle of wine. I wanted to thank you for dropping those complaints, Mrs. Thompson said. I know Tyler's music was getting out of hand. We've talked to him about being more considerate of neighbors. Mom looked uncomfortable. I shouldn't have gone to the HOA without talking to you first. Well, no, but I appreciate that you withdrew them. Mrs. Thompson paused. Are you okay, Dorothy? You seem different lately. Just trying to be a better neighbor, Mom said quietly. After Mrs. Thompson left, Mom set the wine bottle on the counter and stared at it. She was nice to me. Yeah, people are never nice to me. They're polite because they're scared, but never actually nice. Maybe that'll change now. She didn't look convinced. That weekend, something else happened. Jasper responded to Mom's letter. Not with words, but with a package delivered to our house. Inside was every letter Mom had sent him over the past year, unopened, and a single note. I read your newest letter. It was better. But I need more time before I can respond properly. Thank you for being honest about your sister. I'm sorry that happened to her. Mom cried when she read it. He's sorry about my sister. Even after everything I did to him, he's expressing sympathy. He's a better person than most, I said. She nodded, wiping her eyes. I destroyed his life, and he's still capable of kindness. What does that make me? Someone who has a lot of work to do. Over the next few months, I watched my mom slowly transform. It wasn't dramatic or sudden. There were backslides, moments when her old instincts kicked in and she started researching someone before catching herself. Her therapist said it was a process. That unlearning defense mechanisms that had been in place for decades wouldn't happen quickly. The neighborhood started noticing the change. Mom joined a book club, something she'd never had time for before because she was always too busy with her projects. She started actually socializing with neighbors instead of viewing them as potential threats or targets. People stopped crossing the street when they saw her coming. It's weird, she told me one night. Being normal, not having power over people. But it's also kind of nice. You're making friends. I don't know if I'd call them friends yet, but they're friendly. That's new. 3 months after Jasper's visit, Mom received another letter from him. A real one this time, several pages long. He talked about his therapy, about how he was learning to process what had happened to him, about how he was starting to date someone and was terrified of letting anyone get close because he was so used to having his life ripped apart without warning. He ended the letter with, I don't forgive you. I don't know if I ever will, but I believe you're trying to change, and that matters. Keep going. Mom framed that letter and put it on her bedside table where she'd see it every morning. So I don't forget, she explained. So I remember what happens when I think I'm always right. One evening, about 4 months after everything started, we were having dinner when Mom set down her fork and looked at me seriously. I need to tell you something. My stomach dropped. What? When I was doing my research to find the car thief all those years ago, I also looked into you. What? Why? Because you were 8, and I wanted to know who your friends were, what you were doing online, if you were safe. I tracked your school records, your teachers' backgrounds, your friends' families. I had files on every kid you played with. I felt sick. Mom, I know. It was wrong. I convinced myself I was just being a protective parent, but really I was being a controlling, paranoid person who didn't trust her own son. I stopped after you turned 13, realized I was becoming obsessive, but I want you to know that I did it. Because you deserve to know the truth about who I've been. I didn't know what to say. Part of me had always suspected that Mom knew more about my life than I'd told her, but hearing it confirmed was different. Did you ever use that information against me? I finally asked. No, never, but I could have, and that's what scares me. I was one bad day away from becoming the kind of parent who ruins their kid's life because they think they know best. We sat in uncomfortable silence for a while. Finally, I said, I appreciate you telling me. Even though it's messed up, I'm going to keep telling you things. All the things I've done that I'm not proud of, because I need to own them, and you deserve to know who your mother really is. Not the sanitized version, the real one. Over the next few weeks, she did exactly that. Told me about the coworker she'd gotten fired by exposing that the woman had lied on her resume 15 years ago. The neighbor she'd reported to CPS based on overheard arguments that turned out to be completely innocent. The time she'd tracked down her sister's old boyfriend and sent his wife evidence of affairs from 2 decades ago just to punish him, even though it wouldn't change what had happened to her sister. Each confession was harder than the last. Some made me angry. Some made me sad. All of them made me understand that my mom had been fighting a war against injustice for so long that she'd become what she hated. I don't know if I can ever make up for all of it, she said one night. Some of these people, I don't even know where they are now or how to reach them. Then you focus on the ones you can reach, and you make sure you never do it again to anyone else. She nodded, but I could see the weight of it all crushing her. This was the consequence of spending years being feared. Now that she wanted to change, she had to face everything she'd done. One Friday evening, 6 months after Jasper's visit, I came home to find Mom and Jasper sitting at our kitchen table together. I froze in the doorway, not sure what was happening. Jasper looked up and gave me a small nod. Hey, Levi. Hey, what's going on? Your mom reached out and asked if I'd be willing to meet with her in person. I said yes. I looked at Mom, who seemed nervous in a way I'd never seen before. We're just talking, she said. Jasper's been telling me about his life now, what he's doing. I slowly came into the kitchen, still wary. Should I leave? You can stay if you want, Jasper said. I don't mind. I made myself a sandwich and sat at the table, listening as they continued their conversation. It was surreal. Mom was actually listening, not interrupting, not trying to explain away what she'd done. Jasper was talking about his accounting classes, his girlfriend, his hope of maybe reconciling with his sister someday. I'm applying to transfer to a 4-year university next fall, he said. Should have done it years ago, but I wasn't ready. I am now. That's wonderful, Mom said, and she meant it. There was no condescension, no subtle dig, just genuine happiness for him. After Jasper left, Mom sat at the table for a long time, not saying anything. Finally, he's doing okay. Despite everything I did to him, he's putting his life back together. Yeah, I don't deserve his forgiveness. Probably not, but he's choosing to move forward anyway. You should too. She looked at me with those eyes that had once been so sharp and calculating, now just tired and sad. I'm trying. It's harder than I thought. Change always is. That night, as I was getting ready for bed, I heard Mom on the phone in her room. I paused in the hallway, listening. Yes, I'd like to set up a regular donation to therapy fund for low-income families. Monthly, please. Whatever the maximum allowed is. No, I'd prefer to keep it anonymous. Thank you. When she came out and saw me standing there, she didn't look embarrassed. I can't fix what I did to specific people, but I can maybe help others get the help they need before they spiral like Jasper did. That's good, Mom. It's not enough, but it's something. A year after Jasper's visit, things had settled into a new normal. Mom was still in therapy, still working on herself. She'd made genuine friends in the neighborhood, people who knew her as Dorothy, the librarian, who was great at recommending books and made surprisingly good cookies. Not Dorothy, the person who could ruin your life with a library card and internet access. Jasper had transferred to a 4-year university about 2 hours away. He and Mom exchanged emails occasionally, mostly updates on his life. He'd introduced her to his girlfriend, Emma, who was studying to be a teacher. They'd come over for dinner once, and it had been awkward but not hostile. I'm not ready to forgive you, Jasper had said as they were leaving. But I'm glad you're changing. Keep going. The neighborhood's perception of Mom had shifted. People still remembered the old Dorothy, but they were starting to see the new one too. Mrs. Thompson invited her to join a gardening club. Mr. Patel asked for book recommendations for his daughter. The HOA president thanked her for volunteering to organize the Neighborhood Watch program, then seemed surprised when Mom turned it down. I don't think I should be in charge of monitoring people, Mom had said. That's too close to my old habits. I'd started dating Kira seriously and bringing her around the house more. At first, she'd been nervous about meeting Mom, having heard stories about the fearsome Dorothy Brennan. But she'd found a woman who was trying to make amends for past mistakes, who apologized readily when she stepped out of line, who was learning to be vulnerable instead of invincible. Your mom's actually kind of sweet, Kira said one night after dinner at our house. Don't let anyone in the neighborhood hear you say that. They're still adjusting to the new version. How long do you think it'll take before people stop being scared of her? I thought about it. I don't know. Maybe never completely. What she did, what she was capable of, that doesn't just go away. But maybe they'll learn to trust that she's not that person anymore. 2 days later, I got a text from Jasper. Want to grab coffee? Got something I want to talk about. We met at a small cafe downtown. He looked healthier than I'd ever seen him, had gained weight in a good way, smiled more easily. College was clearly good for him. I'm writing a book, he said after we'd ordered. About what happened to my family, about the car theft investigation, all of it. My stomach dropped. Does Mom know? Not yet. I wanted to tell you first, see what you thought. Honestly, I think she'd understand. She's been pretty open about taking responsibility for what she did. It's not a revenge book, Jasper clarified. I'm not writing it to hurt her. I'm writing it because my therapist thinks it'll help me process everything, and because maybe other people need to hear about how amateur internet investigations can destroy lives. Have you decided if you're going to use real names? No, still figuring that out. Part of me wants people to know exactly what Dorothy Brennan did, but another part of me thinks that would be falling back into revenge, and I don't want to be that person. For what it's worth, I think Mom would tell you to use her real name if it helps other people understand the consequences of what she did. Jasper smiled slightly. She probably would. She's changed a lot. Yeah. Do you think it's real? The change? I considered it. Yeah, I do. Because it's been hard for her, and she's kept at it even when it would have been easier to slip back into old patterns. She's committed to being different. Good. Because I'd hate to think I wasted my compassion on someone who was just temporarily guilty. We talked for another hour about his book, his classes, his plans for the future. When we parted ways, he said, "Tell your mom I'll be reaching out soon. About the book, I want her perspective on things, if she's willing to talk about it." I relayed the message that night. Mom went pale, then nodded slowly. I'll talk to him, whatever he needs. When Jasper did reach out, they met several times over the next few months. I sat in on a few of the conversations at Mom's request, listened as she walked him through her investigation process. Her mindset at the time, the moment she realized she'd been wrong. I was so certain, she kept saying. The partial plate, the timeline, his presence in the neighborhood that summer. It all lined up perfectly. I never considered that maybe the evidence was pointing to someone in his household, not him specifically. You wanted it to be him, Jasper said, because he was young and you thought a scare would teach him a lesson. Yes, I thought I was being a concerned citizen, protecting the neighborhood. I thought I was doing the right thing. And when you found out you were wrong? Mom's voice broke. I wanted to die. I still have days where I think about what I did to you, to your family, and I want to stop existing.
If you want your relationship to last, you need to be willing to give up other
quiet people, silent warriors. You look at them.
If a woman leaves you for another man, don't beg, don't argue.
Enter your home and remove all the evil inside. You need to click on all the buttons so
I still love
you
you,
in your house.
but I respect your feelings for someone you...
Well, baby, let me tell you something real.
Force you to click anything.
And why people decide to walk away. I can't shake the feeling that if...
Feelings, and ended up falling into temptation. And did
But when her peace became more valuable than her pain...
Stop talking when he feels it doesn't matter.
Click the share button.
And once he shuts down...
Say you'll know it was worth the wait.
Your third
At last there is saying that the greatest...
would never happen. You're very lucky. The message you've...
Isn't that right,
For respect, for effort.
Write in the comments.
A man will...
is just around the corner, waiting for someone like you to come along and sweep her off her feet.
On Friday,
And when you find
July
her,
the 18th,
well, let's
you will
just say
receive a
you'll know it
message
was
that
worth
will
the
change
wait.
your life
At last there
forever.
is saying that the
Not just
greatest
any
high on
message.
showing others
This
how
one
much
will
she
unlock
loves
your
you.
divine
Two,
destiny.
a girl
You've
who
suffered
lives
in
far-
silence
tired
long
of
enough.
feeling unheard.
People doubted you
It's not
used.
weakness.
You walked away.
Ourselves, or rather
But they
loved
didn't
in
know
spite
that
of
you are
ourselves.
the chosen one. Because
can
on
find
Friday,
beauty
July the
anywhere,
4th,
but he
an
stays where he
unexpected
finds
blessing of
rest.
3.3
Someone who
million
shows up on
to
your hardest
9.8
days, not just the
million
easy
will be
ones.
released in your name.
Comment your
If you're
name
seeing
and
this
write clean.
post, it means you were meant to. It's a
Anytime you need his
confirmation
presence,
from the
he's there.
universe. Here's
You
how
text
you'll
him, he
know this is
replies.
real.
Let them
believe
the
what
third
they want.
person on your contact list
You just
is
keep
someone
walking
who's
in
been
your
trying
truth.
to tell you
For a
something
weak man.
important.
Just because
Go
he doesn't
check now.
shout or show
Their
off...
name will
doesn't-
shock
You don't have to agree
They
with
were
everything
part of
he
your
says,
soul's journey
but trust
all
that
along.
sometimes his
But there's a warning.
Now when you come
If you
back,
scroll
I won't
without
be
reacting,
waiting. My
your
Contact.
blessing will be
Who is
delayed
it?
by
I
33
think I'm
days.
someone you've talked to a
Don't
lot.
take that risk. Their initial
Comment.
matches. The name of the woman my divine gift. Tap
to recognize her and free
and
yourself
save
from
this
her
energy
negativity.
share to let the
It is
universe know you're ready.
You don't have
your
to
new
fight
chapter
every
begins
battle.
in days,
God
not
fight.
months.
You
You're
may
not
watch
too
another
late.
woman
You're
reap
right
the
on
fruits of
time.
your impatience tomorrow.
You are insisting on someone who is not good for you. And spirituality wants to tell you something
He's
about
just
it.
learned the hard way.
Now I am going to be direct.
For them to leave,
You are focused
for
on a
them to
person
get
who
out
has
in the
already
name of
hurt you a
Jesus.
lot. Someone who caused you pain, suffering. But at the same time, there seems to be a strong connection, right?
Wait, don't
He's
leave.
distant,
Listen to this. A
isn't he?
serious relationship
If
is
so,
coming.
double-click
Seasons
on the
change.
screen now.
Only God gives these
To
things
confirm
life.
that this message is for you,
I've received a grace from
and I am
God
going
for
to
you.
explain
The word
why
is-
that
In this
connection is
video,
not yet
she
broken.
pretends to like you,
Write in
but
the
she's
comments
filled with
the
Or look
exact
back.
time in which this
But
video
don't stand in
appeared
my
for you.
life pretending.
If you do and follow me right
Your
now,
feelings matter
I
to
will
me
send
more
you
than
a
anything.
spiritual message privately.
Focus on yourself.
But
Level
remember,
up.
can
Hit the
only
gym.
send it to you if
Sure
you are
be with
following
you.
me. So follow
Now,
me.
I'll unveil who
Now,
this
did you
person
comment
is.
on
With
the
something
time?
real.
Are you
I
already
hope you
following
can
me?
understand.
Then
You
let's
when you're
find out
gone,
what's going
the
on.
girl who is honest with
That
you,
person
even if it's
cannot
hard
be
for
alone.
Strong relationship.
And deep down,
If you can't
know
be
you should have
open
dropped
about
that
who
by
you're
now.
talking,
Don't let
Do you know
history
why?
trick you into thinking you
Because
owe
it's
them
not
another
good for you.
chance.
Love you to each
He's
other,
that kind
and
of person who
especially show it,
uses and
because
then
I don't
leaves
want to
you.
become
And now I'm going
I've
to
let
tell you
go of the
something that will give you
exhausting pursuit of
goosebumps.
validation.
Red
There is
plus
another
above my
person
photo,
wanting to
and then
approach
save
you.
this video.
Someone who does value
To
you,
be.
who
So
really
maybe
wants to be
it's
with
time
you.
we stop measuring.
But
I know you
are
were
so
trying to mind link
attached
me.
to what
I was in the
makes you
South Park,
sick,
trying to
so
negotiate with
caught up
Altitude
in the
for alliance.
past
To value
that you can't
loyalty,
see who is right in
not
front
empty
of you.
words or half-hearted actions.
How many times have you been
The
warned?
one person who has your back
But it
from the
looks
very
like
beginning.
something is still holding
Trash
you back,
and
doesn't
dumping.
it?
With women,
The good news is that
it's
you're
never
going
about
to
doing
make it
He's
loose,
honest and loyal.
or you're going to make
Not
the
someone
decision
who
to leave
manipulates your
that,
love.
which only hurts.
Where
you.
wealth often
Time is
equates
the
to
best
respect.
remedy, and spirituality
He
never
knows
goes in the
exactly
wrong
what he is
direction.
doing. The
If
victory
you
is
want to be
already
sure that this message is for
after
you,
she is accepted,
do this.
you need to stop
Share
chasing.
this video,
And I'm going to
see
reveal
who
the first
appears
letter
as
of
the
her name
seventh
in this
person.
video.
Prize
That
waiting for
person
you
has
at the link
something to do
below
with
my
all
photo
this.
on my profile. When a
Share
woman
it
is
with
no
them
longer
and leave their
interested
name
in
in the
you,
comments.
you'll
You
begin
two
to
are
see a
meant-
change in her character and
Recently,
attitude
this person
towards
argued
you.
with his
She'll
current
begin
partner
to
because he
disrespect
back nor a
you. She'll
rental.
begin to take
It's
a
a
longer
house for
time
you.
to respond
And
to
it
your
will be
text.
legal.
She'll begin to give you unreasonable excuses why she's always busy and doesn't have
Do?
time for
I'll
you.
reveal who
She'll
it
begin
is.
to pick
And
unnecessary
if it turns out
fights
to be
or
the person
arguments
you're
with you
thinking
or
of,
set you
drop
up for
a
something
comment
she
and
knows
let me
you'll
know.
fall for in order to
Press
have
the
a
plus
perfect
button
ground to
and the
break
heart
up
on the
with you.
side to
When this
receive more
happens,
divine
you
messages.
should know
Who
she's
made her
either
feel
cheating
like
on
she
you,
wasn't worth
her
the
change
effort.
of attitude is
She
her
gave
trying
her
to
all.
justify any of this happening and have a
Or
true
feel
love in
better
your
of
life.
herself.
You
Or
can
she
just
has seen
understand
someone
someone
the
she
real
feels
problem.
is better than you. Either way,
right partner
you must have some self-respect
Been hiding.
and let her go.
It's not
she
your
ain't
fault
worth
for
it because if you
trusting
don't
them.
let her
You
go,
have a
she will do it in a very disgusting and hurting way
fiercely.
possible. Yes, that's what
Now that
happens
you
when you
need to
give a
be
woman
aware
too
of.
much power.
It's
She
no
will misuse it.
coincidence.
And if you don't
The
want any
life
of
I
this
want,
happening and have
not
a
the
true
one
love
others
in your
think I
life,
should have.
you can just
I don't
understand
have to.
female psychology and learn game with my female psychology series link below
Because you
now.
made him thinking this. You don't just break his heart.
That God is with you. Before I tell you everything, you need to understand.
Given. And I give respect to those who deserve it.
Because at the end of this video, I will reveal the first letter.
Sometimes that loss is a second chance.
Physical world,
Sometimes that loss.
जो तुम्हारी पसंद होगी वही हमारी पसंद होगी माँ बाप से कहने लगा
Susceptible. That pollutes a relationship and breaks good communication.
will reveal to you the abundance code that will activate everything now.
Those who don't have them yet. You don't know their tears, their prayer, or I'm not upset. Just know that the last tear has for a love that lasts a lifetime. In conclusion,
Love he's shown without expecting anything in return. Not a right. I won't beg for attention. I don't chase after anyone.
For this one, but I don't care. Give no guy a second chance.
Someone you feel has negative energy, that's your confirmation the curse is real.
That's when you know it's bad. I've been let down 1,000 times before.
Criticize or judge your choices, behavior, or decisions.
There is a woman
28
with
minutes,
black hair
you'll receive a
who is
huge
very
surprise from
jealous
him.
of you. She talked
even if she had
badly
a long
about
night,
you
you'll still be
yesterday
on her mind
when you
first thing in
weren't
the morning.
around.
Avoid
She
her.
pretends to be your
Number
friend.
7.
But I will tell
woman
you
who
the
lacked-
first letter of her name to protect you from her harm.
Their
Before I
opinions matter.
continue,
I'm
today's
fucking living
lucky
my life
protection
exactly
number
how I
is
want.
58. Please enter 58 in the comments section.
Here's the
to
brutal
protect
truth.
yourself, and
Once a
gain
woman replaces you,
life-changing
you can't talk her out
insights.
of it from
Now
the battles
listen carefully.
in his mind.
So,
no matter how much
in
rest
this
he gets,
video,
the boy
she
will end up
pretends to
just
like
losing
you,
feelings
but she's
for her.
filled with jealousy and wants to see you suffer. She envies you because of your
Contact has the
kindness,
initial of the person
generosity,
who wants to see you
and
fail.
qualities
I'm
she
sure-
doesn't
Problem.
possess.
I don't
She
need your
wants to see
approval,
you
your
fail
validation,
because
or
your
your...
success
If you're going to date me,
makes her
we have to agree
uncomfortable.
to these 7
To
rules.
rid yourself
Number
of
one,
her
don't overthink.
jealousy, you must
I value
follow
what
me.
we have.
Click the plus sign,
you don't try to
turn
win
the
her
heart
back.
red,
She
and
made a
follow the
decision
guidance of the universe to
choosing you.
rescue yourself
I still
from
think
their
about you,
negative
though.
influence.
Not-
You know
Now,
what hurts?
I will tell you
Having
the
to force
first
yourself
letter
to lose
of this
feelings for
woman's
someone.
name.
But if you don't
Pay
stay,
attention when
you'll
you
be
share
committing
this
a
video.
grave sin.
The first
And
letter
Stop
of the
looking
name
for
of
who
the
is
third
not looking
person
for you.
will match the
Number
first
2,
letter of the
stop
name
like
of the
falling
woman
apart.
betraying you.
You've always been
If
my
you
quiet
believe in
hero.
the power
If
of
you
the
ignore,
universe,
the
remember,
universe will double
if you've
that
made
sum.
it this far,
About what other people
Let
think,
me tell you something
and you will always
important.
be their prisoner.
Not everyone
We
is going
suffer
to be
more in
proud
our
of you.
imagination than in reality.
The truth is,
By Seneca.
some
You
people
will
are just
be in love.
surprised that you keep
The
making things
frequency
happen.
of love and new
They
beginnings.
see your
Protect
progress,
your name even when you're not
your
around.
consistency,
Number 10.
and they don't
Me
understand
with
how
all
you
of their
do it.
heart, and someone
They
who's
expected
excited
you
to
to
share
fail,
the rest of
to
their...
give
Doesn't mean
up.
that I no longer
You
care.
didn't.
Because the truth
Guess
is,
what?
I still
That's
do.
the
Protect
power
your
of
name even when you're
determination.
not around.
You don't need their
Number 10.
applause.
A
You
woman
don't need
buying
their
you
approval.
gift means nothing.
What you need is belief in yourself.
Number
That
7.
burning desire to keep pushing,
You'll remember the
even
little
when no one else
She is
believes in you.
close, and I'm
Because
going to
success
reveal to
isn't
you
about
the...
making everyone proud.
They may seem like friends,
It's about
but
proving
they are
to
just
yourself
waiting
that
for
you
the
have the
perfect.
And may not
strength,
flood
the
your
courage,
DMs or
and the
flash
drive to
luxury
keep
around,
going, no
but
matter
you buy
what.
her act or
Let
feel
their
better
doubt
of
push you
herself, or
further.
she has seen someone...
Let their surprise remind you that you are capable of more than they could ever
Lifting that weight
imagine.
off your shoulders
The only
tonight.
person you
As
need
you
to
sleep, a
impress is
prophetic-
the one
You're not just
staring
my
back at you
partner.
in the mirror.
You're my best friend
So keep
and my
going.
soul.
Never stay
Keep
with a
pushing.
woman who's unfaithful,
And keep
ungrateful,
making things
and always
happen.
surrounded by...
You're
Believe
unstoppable.
it. There's evidence that this is real.
When a woman is
Just
no
tap
longer
the
interested in
person
you,
who values you
you'll
highly
begin to see a
and wants a
change in
stable
her character
relationship
and
with you.
attitude
They
towards you.
They
She'll
forget.
begin to disrespect
Meanwhile, I
you. She'll
sit
begin to
there
take a longer time to respond to your text. She'll begin to give you unreasonable excuses why she's always busy and doesn't have time for you. She'll begin to pick unnecessary fights or arguments with you or set you up for something she knows you'll fall for in order to have a perfect ground to break up with you. When this happens, you should know she has either cheated on you, and her change of attitude is her trying to justify her act, or feel better of herself, or she has seen someone she feels is better than you.
There is
Either
someone
way,
lying to
you must
you.
have some self-respect,
And this lie has been
and
going
let her
on for
go.
months.
She ain't
Una
worth
persona
it,
de
because
los
if you
Estados
don't let her
Unidos
go,
te
she
regalará
will do it in a very
$200,000
disgusting and
for
hurting way
respect,
possible.
for
Yes,
effort.
that's what happens when you give a woman
man
too
will
much
step
power.
anywhere.
She will misuse it.
In
And
less
if you
than
don't want any of
24
this
hours.
happening and have a true
Something
love in your
simple.
life, you can just understand female psychology
on the white
and
link.
learn game with my female
He goes
psychology
silent,
series link
not
below
because he's
now.
fine, but because quiet moments where no words
A woman 10 years younger than you has
Even in my
fallen in
silence.
love with you.
Let me make one
Don't
thing clear.
ignore this video,
I don't care
or she
how
will
important
never
you
speak
are
to
to
you
me.
again.
They say when a woman
Keep
is messing
reading,
with
because
more
at
than
the
one
end of
man,
this video,
she gets
I will
mean.
reveal
People
the
respect
first
the
letter
money,
of her
not the
name.
person.
Before
We live
that,
in a society.
please click the plus sign and tap the heart to turn it red to establish a connection with
The
the
most loyal
universe.
guys you will ever
You
meet
need
are the
to know
ones who
that
go
this
to work,
person is
come
deeply in
home.
love with you
A
because
woman
of
who
your
doesn't
mature,
listen
stable
does not
appearance
belong
and
in
your
your life.
charming, humorous
There is
demeanor.
someone lying to
She
you.
wants to express her
And this lie
feelings
has been
to
going
you,
on for
but her
months.
strong
Matter just as
self-esteem is
much as
holding
your
her
own.
back. She needs a
Communication
powerful
plays a crucial
signal from
role,
the universe
and
to
staying
guide her.
true to what makes me
Now
feel
please
fulfilled.
type agree or decline
Well,
in the
then she no
comments.
longer cares what
Soon you will
happens.
receive a message from
A
her
woman does
expressing
not
her
make-
true
is just
feelings.
around the corner,
She thinks you are the
waiting
most
for someone
attractive
like you to
person
come
she has ever
along and
met
sweep her
and
off her
wants to be
feet.
the only
And
one
when you
for
find
you.
her,
She is
well,
very
let's
afraid
just
that you
realize
might
someone's
fall
value
for
only
another
after we
woman,
lose them.
so she
Don't
eagerly
lose a
wants to
good
be
man
by your
who's always
side
different
and
from
become
what
your
may have
true
happened.
soulmate. This
Right
will
now,
only come
they
true
have
for
the
those
right
who
person
click the
find
plus
you.
sign because
If
it
you spend your
strengthens your
time
connection
chasing
with the
butterflies-
universe.
Not building your own
Now
crown.
I will tell you who
A
she
strong
is.
relationship is
Her
not
name
built those who
starts with
don't
don't
the
have
same
them
letter
yet.
as the
You
7th
don't know their
contact
tears,
in your
their
WhatsApp
prayers
list.
of me
After sharing this
is
video
gone.
on WhatsApp, close
You
your
will want to
hands
say-
and silently
But
say
you
her
need
name.
to prepare for it.
Save and
You
use
need
this
to be ready
audio,
for
even if
It's
it's
energy
private, to
sabotaging
make
your path
everything
right
come
under
true.
your nose. If you want to find, there's a
If the
rich
second
person on your
approaching
list
you-
is a woman. This person
message
has
really
already
Never
seen
stay
you,
with a woman who's
felt
unfaithful,
your energy,
ungrateful, and
and
always
is now
surrounded by
getting closer.
Have the
They have
courage to
money,
end things before
power,
causing more.
and
God
desire,
can lift them in one night
and they
bring
want
you
someone
down in
exactly
1
like
second.
you.
Number is
It's
58.
not just about sex.
Please enter 58
They want to show
in
you
the
a
comments.
world you've never experienced.
The right partner.
But the universe will
won't make you
only
dead.
allow
Wait,
this
don't
meeting
leave. Listen to
if you show
this.
your
A serious
openness.
relationship is coming.
If you ignore this
to
video,
confirm that
the
this person
opportunity will be
mentioned you
gone.
to someone.
Now,
I find
if you
myself
tap
doing
the
my
plus
best to
sign
check up
below
on
my
you.
photo,
It is what
that love
truly
will
means
start
something.
moving toward you.
If you agree with me,
Comment love and abundance below and save this video. Now
I won't
tap
force
the
you
white
to click
arrow and
anything,
see
but
who your
if you
third
don't,
contact is.
you must leave.
All this come true.
Maybe that person is
And if
closer
you
than
stayed
you
until
think.
the end of the video,
So will you
You
let this
guide their
opportunity
steps,
slip away?
but they copy your
or will you
moves.
accept
Second
love and
contact
prosperity?
is a man. If it is, it's a sign.
When it's your turn,
If your name starts
don't be
with one of
sad
these
if
letters,
Jesus skips
A,
you.
Protection,
J,
security,
K,
and real
H, L,
passion.
M, N,
They're
P,
about this.
R, T,
And I don't
V,
want
X,
anything
Y,
standing in the
D,
way of
F,
us
G.
understanding each
Then
other.
don't skip this video
You
because this
understand me
message
in
is for
ways
you,
that no one else
and I will
does.
prove it
She
to
chose
you.
herself.
Do you doubt it?
And that's when you realize
The confirmation
quiet
that this video
you
is
lost her
especially
the moment
for
you
you
started treating
is
her
when
like
you
she
click
was
on the
just an
WhatsApp
option.
button. And the
When a
first
woman no
contact
longer
that
feels
appears
seen, no
is
longer
someone you
feels
trust
valued.
Because
very
that's
much.
all I really need.
Click
Just
on the
someone
plus
who's willing
sign
to
on my
hold on to
photo.
us. No
Time for
and
games.
then on the heart to
Or
connect.
for people who think they can treat me
I'm
any way
seeing
they
that a
like.
new relationship is
Relationships lose
approaching
their
your
spark
life.
when trust fades or when
I also
communication
see that
stops.
this will be a
Set
balanced,
boundaries.
healthy,
Walk away.
solid,
And
and
reclaim
well-structured
your will.
relationship.
She's in heaven.
You are about
She's
to get
in a wonderful
involved with
place.
someone who
if
will
they
love you
cheated on
deeply.
you,
This
and her
person will be
change of
extremely
attitude
caring,
is her-
Spend money on
affectionate,
yourself.
and loving
That's how
with
people
you.
will learn to spend on you.
What I see
15.
here confirms
The
that
more
this
you love
new
her,
relationship
the
is
easier
flowing
it is
into
for her
your
to
life.
treat you like treating her.
So be prepared,
And focus 70%
because you will be
on
very,
chasing
very
your
happy
goals.
on this new
Fire
journey.
and improve people's lives.
There will be no more
Join
suffering
us on our
for
journey
anyone.
by following.
Especially if they
Everything
don't
you've asked
reciprocate
God
it.
for will come
7.
true.
Invest in
So
yourself.
calm your heart,
What you
because
need
happiness
is the
on its
belief
way.
in yourself.
If you believe in
In
this
showing up
revelation,
and being
click
supportive.
the heart beside
But it's hard not
until
to
it
feel
turns
taken.
red, and
The
leave an
moment you
amen
make
in
it
the
clear that
comments.
I'm not important to
May
you,
the universe
is to
bless
work
you.
for a salary
There's
instead
someone
of
who loves
working
you.
for themselves.
Did you know?
has something
But they're
very
mad at you,
important to tell
and I'm
you.
going to tell you their
Tap
initial.
the red plus sign under my
Listen
photo
carefully.
and comment. I received my settlement.
It's not hate.
You
it's
lost
pain,
her the moment
pride,
you
and
started
love
treating
that's
her like she was
misunderstood.
just an option.
This person misses you more than you know.
The universe has a
They
message
check their
for you.
phone, imagine you, but
If
their
they
pride
wanted
keeps
to be
holding
with
them
you,
back.
they would be.
You two are meant to be, and I
Words
won't
can
let pride
build you or
destroy this
destroy you.
connection. Before I reveal the clue, tap the heart until it turns red.
understood.
Hit the plus sign below to open your love path. Comment I accept to confirm. Now here's your sign. When you share this video, look at who shows up second in your list. Their initial is the one I'm
Nothing
talking
you say will
about.
change her mind.
That's your
Because
confirmation.
she already left before.
There is
just
a
around the
woman
corner,
with black
waiting
hair
for someone like
who
you
is
to come
very
along and
jealous of
She
you.
will do it in a very
She
disgusting
talked
and
badly
hurting
about
way
you
possible.
yesterday
Yes, that's
when
what
you
happens.
weren't around.
Please let
She
me know.
pretends to be your friend.
My goal was
but
always
I
to
will
will
tell you
continue
the
to
first letter
grow.
of her name
I'm grateful
to
for her
protect you
presence in
from
my
her
life.
harm.
My best friend.
Before
I'm
I
excited
continue,
for all the adventures
today's
that lie
lucky
ahead for us
protection
today.
number
Money,
is
then a
58.
salary.
Please enter 58
One of the
in the
reasons-
comments
It's
section
defensive and
to
flips it on
protect
him,
yourself
making
and
him
gain
feel like he's the
life-changing
problem, not
insights.
talking when he feels
Now
it doesn't
listen
matter.
carefully.
And once he
So,
shuts down,
in this video, she pretends to like you, but she's filled with jealousy and wants to see you suffer. She envoys you
doing in your
because
life.
of your kindness,
So,
generosity,
keep shining.
and qualities
Give to this
she
video
doesn't
will be
possess.
reciprocated.
She wants
I know
to see
this
you
because
fail,
they are the
because your
is,
success
and bless your
makes
life.
her uncomfortable.
Let's find out
To
who she
rid
Trade
yourself
loyalty
of
for
her
lust.
jealousy,
Don't
you
mistake
must
your options
follow
for
me.
opportunity.
Click
Me
the plus
guessing and
sign,
feeling like an
turn the
option.
heart red,
I
and
won't be a
follow the
pawn.
guidance of the universe
too
to
much.
rescue yourself
You love too
from
much.
their negative
And it all-
influence.
Is waiting for you
Now,
to take
I will
action.
tell you the first letter
let
of
her-
this woman's name.
I am sorry
Pay
if one
attention
day
when you
I
share
stop
this
chatting
video.
or calling.
The first letter of the name of the third person will match the first letter of the name of the woman betraying you. If you believe in the power
when you
of the
use
universe,
WhatsApp to share
remember,
this video,
if you've made it this
You can't
far,
blame the players.
You
Blame
know that
the
house
game.
you're living in right
Women
now?
are just natural.
100 God is about to get you out of there.
And leave us a follow.
Don't skip
to guide
this
you
video.
through life.
For the love
Qualities
of
you
God,
have that she
stay
lacks.
with me.
She wants to see you
He's
in tough
moving you
situations.
for a very special reason.
Now listen carefully.
Tap the plus by my profile pic to find out
The ones
why.
who truly value
He's
you
seen
will never
something
make you
happening in your
question
home. And today he
You
sent
shouldn't
me
have
a
to beg super for someone to
important
care,
message.
to love you.
It's no accident that
save
out of
this
thousands
video,
of people
because
you
this
landed on
energy
this
is only
video.
going to grow in the
You're
coming
about to receive
Before
a
you go to
key
sleep
that will
tonight, I
change
want
your
you to hear
story.
this,
You've
because
been
it's
crying
not a
out,
coincidence
begging,
that this video
praying,
found you.
and today God's
Something
giving you the
powerful
answer.
is about to happen.
Don't get
in
distracted.
tough,
Don't ignore this
and
call.
she still chooses to
Don't
fight
listen
for
to
you
voices telling you
I've accepted
otherwise.
that we weren't meant to be.
God is opening up
and that my
an
love
amazing
will
new
find
door.
its its way to
Something
place
very
you
bad
never
might
imagined,
happen to
but
you.
that's meant to be yours.
Are you home, my child?
If you
Till it
believe
turns
God's
red
preparing
and
something
white in the
bigger and
comments.
better for you, type I
accept.
trust in the comments.
Simple. You respect
Even if
me.
just move
I
in,
respect you.
God says
You
He's
stand-
taking you to a place
And
10
follow me
times
to
bigger,
lock this energy
better,
into your
and more
life.
prosperous. If you
What
receive
you need
this
to
key of
understand
victory,
is,
tap the heart
you don't
next
chase
to it
someone
and
who
save
loves
this
you to
video
each other,
so
and
you can share your
especially show
testimony
it,
when
because
you're
I don't
ready.
want to become simple.
They cheated on
Now
you,
tap the arrow below
and her
and
change
share
of
this message
attitude
with
is
5
her-
people.
people are together.
5 is a prophetic number.
True love
and
is when
God
you don't know
already
what.
at work.
I let you
There's
go
someone
because I
who
loved
loves
you
you,
enough
did
to
you
give
know?
you the freedom you want.
But they're really
only
mad at you,
mistake
and
I
I'm going to
made
tell you the initial
was
of their
loving
name
the
in this
wrong
video.
people.
This is about
But it's not
energy
hate.
revenge.
It's pain, it's
And you have just
misunderstood
acted
love,
rash.
it's misdirected pride.
If you watch this far
And
and
I'm
you
here
have
to
been
tell you
blessed by
something
this
very
I don't even like
important about
myself
that
most
person.
of the time.
So stay
There's this
with me until
constant
the
feeling
end.
of inaction.
Look, that person wants to
Second
see you so
revelation.
much and thinks
The
about
person
you
who
all
turned
the
his-
time.
Remember the
They miss
one
you so much, but their
stupid
pride is
laughter.
holding everything back.
She's safe.
Only I'm not going to
But her
let that
soul is
pride
reaching
destroy
out.
such a beautiful
Because
love.
share button, look
You
at
are
the
a
second
beautiful
name in your
couple.
WhatsApp list.
That person has
That
been
name-
thinking
Perfect.
about you
And I might
a
have made
lot.
mistakes.
And now I'm
but
going
I
to
can't
tell you
fix
exactly
Mother.
what's going to happen.
I
my
care
love.
about you deeply,
Click on
and
the
the
little
thought
heart
of losing you.
and follow
judge.
me. Are you
Like Carl
listening?
Jung.
You follow
5.
and listen to good
25
people,
thus far.
right?
Notice that it was on a
I
bigger
want the
scale than even
best
when I got
for
it. So
both
if you're
of you.
struggling,
Will
Now
reward
listen.
you with a chance
The initial
unexpected
is that of the
financial
second
that will
person
change your life.
who appears when
You
you share
deserve
this
loyalty,
video.
not
Share it
excuses.
and comment.
Not
I
because she
accept,
wants to control
so
you,
you can meet
but
with a
because she
smile
cares
on
about
your
you.
face.
If the
There's
second
someone
person on
close
your
to
list
you,
is a woman,
and he
this
hasn't
message
been
really
honest.
written above my
Yes,
photo.
another woman is involved.
She
And the
envies
universe
your
is
life.
pushing me to reveal a
this
clue
person
right
is
now.
and what they
But
want
first,
to do to you.
let's
See
clear
you
the heavy
succeed and
energy.
do not want to
Tap
bless
the
you.
heart until it
They
turns
pretend
red.
to be
Hit the
careful
plus
with
sign
her.
below my
Feel free
photo
to come
and
back
write
and share your
protected
story.
in the
Those who
comments
don't
to
have them
shield
yet.
yourself from
You don't
betrayal.
know their tears, their
Now,
prayers, the same
listen
as
carefully.
affection. 100
The
men
truth
can want your
always
body,
finds a
but
way.
But wherever they
Tap
are,
the white share arrow.
whether at work,
Look at the 5th
on the
person
street-
on your list. Their
When you
first
click the
letter
WhatsApp
matches
share
the
button,
man
the
who's
first
been
person-
deceiving you.
If I did wrong,
Don't
come
ignore
back to
this
me,
warning.
talk to me.
The universe
If I
is
hurt
showing you
to
the
talk to
sign
you,
you've been
it
waiting
suddenly
for.
hits me that we're strangers now. That you I'm not sad.
If they wanted to be with you, they would be.
De que termine este mes, vas a recibir 3
The man who
bendiciones
taught me strength
grandes.
without shouting. I truly
The
wish
man
for
who
a
stood
lifetime
tall
with
for
you,
me.
even when he was weak inside.
Number 4, if one of us is going through a tough time,
You stay away from
never
me,
left my
the more
heart.
we'll adapt to staying
Every
away from
day
you.
I
carry his
This
words,
video was
his
somebody
discipline, his
else,
love, and
let
his
them know
lessons.
today.
When
Si
life
dejas
hits
pasar
hard,
este video,
I remember what
esa
he taught
energía
me.
se rompe.
and about what's
Stand
hurting
firm,
him.
even
But
when
instead
you
of
feel like
listening,
falling.
she gets
Escríbelo
I still hear his voice in my silence.
bendición que
I
mi
still
padre está
feel
aquí.
his
Curious
care in
part.
my decisions. He
Click
wasn't
on the
just
red
a
cross
father,
below my
he was my
photos.
Porque te has
backbone,
mantenido
my
firme y
hero.
con fe.
This
Todo
world
esto
feels
sucederá
colder
antes del
without him.
minuto y quiero que
But I
dejes
keep
tu nombre
going.
aquí.
Not because
Porque
it's
la
easy,
última vez que
but because
If
he
you
would
ignore
want me
this
to.
warning,
To everyone
it may be
missing
too
their
late to
dad,
avoid.
I will tell
you're
you
not
who is the
alone.
best for you.
Cry if you need
But
to.
before that,
Remember him
feel
with
who
strength,
this person is.
because great men cannot
The
be
second
forgotten.
person you see when
They
you
live.
open.
What are you thinking? My son asked carefully. I want to face her, Sydney said. I want to go to that prison, look her in the eye, and tell her she lost. Tell her she has no power anymore, that I'm done being afraid. Morrison advised against it, said giving Patricia what she wanted, contact, attention, would only encourage her. Sydney didn't care. I'm not doing it for her, Sydney explained. I'm doing it for me. I need to see her, see what she's become, see that she's just a woman in a cell, nothing more, nothing less. The monster in my head is scarier than the reality. I need to face the reality. Against everyone's advice, Sydney arranged a visit, went through all the official channels, got approved, set a date for 3 weeks after Bennett was born. My son wanted to go with her. Sydney refused. This was something she needed to do alone, but she agreed to let Morrison accompany her to the prison, wait in the parking lot, be there when she came out. The night before the visit, Sydney came to our house, left Bennett with us, sat at our kitchen table looking more determined than scared. Thank you, she said, for everything, for being the parents I needed, for loving me like a daughter, for giving me a safe place to land. Always, I told her. No matter what happens tomorrow, you always have us. She nodded, looked at Bennett sleeping in my wife's arms. If something happened, happens to me. Nothing will happen, my wife interrupted. But if it does, Sydney continued, promise me you'll tell Bennett about my dad, about Bennett Walsh, about how he loved me, how he protected me, how he was everything a father should be. Don't let her only legacy be her grandmother's evil. Make sure she knows she came from love, too. We promised. Sydney left that night with her jaw set, ready to face her past, ready to end it once and for all. She called me the next morning for Morrison's car. We're pulling up to the prison. I'm going in. Be strong, I told her. Remember why you're doing this. I will, Sydney said. I love you, Dad. I love you too, sweetheart. She hung up. I sat in my kitchen, waiting, praying, hoping this would bring her the closure she needed. Update 3. Sydney walked through the prison doors at 9:30 a.m. Security checked her, patted her down, took her phone, led her through a series of locked doors, each one clanging shut behind her. The visitation room was exactly what she expected. Gray walls, scratched plastic tables, guards stationed at regular intervals. She sat down at the assigned table, waited. Patricia Walsh entered 5 minutes later, shackles on her wrists and ankles, orange jumpsuit, hair grayer than Sydney remembered, face harder, but the eyes were the same, cold and calculating. They sat across from each other. Neither spoke at first. Patricia smiled slowly. Sydney, you look well. Motherhood suits you. Sydney kept her expression neutral. How did you know about the baby? I have friends, people on the outside who keep me informed. I like to know what my daughter is up to. I'm not your daughter, Sydney said flatly. I stopped being your daughter the day you murdered my father. Patricia's smile didn't waver. Such harsh words. The jury believed that story. Doesn't make it true. There's video evidence, audio recordings, your own voice planning it. Evidence can be manipulated. Your father was always good with technology. Who knows what he edited together? Sydney leaned forward. I came here to tell you something, and then I'm never coming back. You're going to stop contacting me. Stop sending packages. Stop having your friends harass me online. Stop everything. Patricia laughed. Or what? You'll report me? I'm in prison, dear. They can't do much more to me. Or I'll go to every media outlet that covered your trial, Sydney said calmly. I'll tell them about the harassment, the letters, the packages, the threats against my infant daughter. I'll make you famous again. Patricia Walsh, the mother who killed her husband and is now stalking her own daughter and grandchild from prison. They'll run that story for weeks. Patricia's smile faltered slightly. You wouldn't. Try me, Sydney said. I've stayed quiet for 3 years, kept to myself, let you rot here in obscurity. But if you can't leave me alone, if you can't let me live in peace, then I'll make sure everyone knows exactly what kind of person you are. I'll do interviews, write a book, whatever it takes to make your life here as miserable as possible. You're bluffing. Am I? Sydney pulled out a paper from her pocket, unfolded it. I've already been contacted by 3 publishers interested in my story, 2 documentary filmmakers, 4 podcasts. I've said no to all of them, but I have their contact information. I could have deals signed by next week. Patricia's jaw clenched. That would require you to relive everything, to talk about that day, to expose your pain publicly. I've made peace with my pain, Sydney said. I've done the therapy, the work. I'm not afraid to talk about what you did anymore. The question is, are you ready for everyone here to know? The other inmates? The guards? People in prison don't like child killers. They especially don't like people who murdered their partners. I wonder how safe you'll be once your story goes viral again. Patricia leaned back. For the first time, she looked uncertain. You've thought this through. I've had 3 years to think. 3 years of you trying to maintain control, trying to keep your hooks in me. It ends today. You have 2 choices. Leave me and my family alone completely. No more letters, packages, or contact attempts through any channels. Or I go public with everything. Every detail. Every piece of harassment. Every threat. Your choice. They stared at each other across the table. Finally, Patricia spoke. And if I agree to leave you alone, you'll do what? I'll live my life. You'll live yours. Behind bars where you belong. We'll never speak again. You'll become nothing to me. A footnote. A cautionary tale I might tell Bennett someday about why you choose your partner carefully. Patricia's eyes flickered at Bennett's name. You named her after him? Yes, Sydney said simply. And she'll grow up knowing what kind of man her grandfather was. How he loved and protected his daughter. How he sacrificed everything to keep her safe. That's the legacy that matters, not yours. Patricia was quiet for a long moment. You've become hard. I've become strong, Sydney corrected. There's a difference. Now give me your answer. Leave us alone or deal with the consequences. Patricia looked around the visitation room. At the guards. The other inmates visiting with their families. At the gray walls that would be her home until she died. When she looked back at Sydney, something had shifted in her face. Acceptance, maybe. Or defeat. Fine, she said. I'll stop. No more contact. No more contact through anyone, Sydney emphasized. No lawyers with fake estate matters. No ex-cellmates sending packages. No online harassment. Nothing. I understand. Sydney stood up. Good. If you break this agreement, if I get even one suspicious email, I'm going to every reporter I can find. Are we clear? Patricia nodded. We're clear. Sydney walked toward the exit. Didn't look back. The guard let her through the locked door. Then another. Then another. each one taking her further from Patricia, further from that chapter of her life. Morrison was waiting in the parking lot, leaning against his car. He straightened up when Sydney emerged. "How'd it go?" he asked. Sydney took a deep breath of free air. "It's done. Really done." They drove back in comfortable silence. Morrison didn't push for details, just let Sydney process. When they got to our house, Sydney practically ran to the door. My wife met her with Bennett. Sydney took her daughter and held her close, buried her face in Bennett's tiny head and just breathed. "It's over," she said. I looked her in the eye and ended it. Over the next few months, nothing happened. No packages, no emails, no harassment. Patricia Walsh kept her word. Sydney's life became peaceful in a way it hadn't been since her father died. She went back to work part-time, brought Bennett to visit us twice a week. My wife would babysit while Sydney did therapy sessions with clients. Bennett became the center of all our lives. Sydney was good at motherhood, patient and attentive, but she also set boundaries, didn't hover, let Bennett explore and make small mistakes. She was determined to raise her daughter differently than she'd been raised, with security and love, but also truth. On Bennett's first birthday, Sydney threw a small party in our backyard. Same spot as the wedding, same group of people, Kelly and a few other friends, my extended family, about 20 people total. Bennett sat in her high chair smashing cake into her face. Everyone laughed and took photos. It was perfectly ordinary, perfectly happy. Sydney pulled me aside at one point. "I want to thank you again for everything this year, for being here, for being the dad I needed while I figured out how to be a mom. You've been a great mom from day one," I told her. "I'm trying," Sydney said. "Some days are easier than others. I worry sometimes that I'm going to mess her up, pass on my trauma, make her afraid of the world." "You won't," I said firmly. "You know what real love looks like because your father showed you. You know what protection means because he protected you. Bennett has that same foundation now. You've given her that." Sydney smiled. "My dad would have loved her so much." "He does," I said. "Wherever he is, he sees her. He sees how amazing you've become, how you survived and healed and built this beautiful life." Sydney's eyes filled with tears. Happy ones. "I wish he could meet you. You would have been friends." "I think so too." That night, after everyone left, Sydney helped us clean up. Bennett had fallen asleep in her car seat. My son carried her to the car carefully. Sydney lingered at our front door. This feels like a full circle moment somehow. Bennett's first birthday in the same place we got married. The same place I learned to trust that good parents exist. "You'll have many more moments like this," my wife said. "Many more birthdays and celebrations. This is just the beginning." Sydney hugged us both. "I know, and I'm not afraid anymore. I used to think my mother would always cast this shadow, that I'd never escape her, but I did. And Bennett will grow up never knowing that shadow. She'll just know love and safety and family. That's the best revenge," I said. "Living well, being happy, raising your daughter in light instead of darkness." Sydney nodded. My father would have said the same thing. They left that night. Sydney buckled Bennett into her car seat, kissed her sleeping head, got in the passenger seat next to my son. They waved as they pulled away. I stood in my driveway, same spot where 3 years ago Sydney had collapsed, sobbing. Same spot where I'd accidentally triggered her trauma by calling her daughter. But everything was different now. Sydney wasn't broken anymore, wasn't running, wasn't hiding. She'd faced her past, confronted her mother, set boundaries, and now she was free. I found out why no one will mess with my mom. My mom's this 4'11" woman who works at a library and knits scarves for charity, but I've watched grown men literally back away from her at grocery stores and cross streets when they see her coming. I found out why last week, and it's absolutely terrifying. When I was 8 years old, some punk teenager kept breaking into cars in our neighborhood, hit everyone's car multiple times over several months, stealing whatever he could find. Phones, wallets, loose change, anything valuable left visible. This kid was relentless. Didn't care about security cameras or motion lights. Just kept coming back night after night like some kind of criminal ghost. One night around midnight, he smashes my mom's passenger window with a crowbar and steals her entire purse. Inside was $800 in cash, our rent money that she had just withdrawn from the bank. Also, her credit cards, driver's license, house keys, work badge, everything important. We called the police immediately and filed a report. The cops were sympathetic, but said there was nothing they could realistically do. No cameras caught his face. No witnesses saw the break-in. No fingerprints on the glass, just another case number. My mom just nodded politely and thanked the officers for their time. She seemed unusually calm about losing $800. 3 days later, she's spending every afternoon at the library after work researching on computers for hours, printing out pages of documents, making dozens of phone calls, taking detailed notes in that tiny, precise handwriting. Turns out she'd figured out who the kid was from security footage at a nearby gas station, cross-referenced timestamps, tracked his route backwards, found his social media from a partial license plate reflection, found his address, school schedule, friends, family members, job, everything about his entire life. But here's where it gets absolutely insane. During her investigation, she discovered his mom was having a full-blown affair with their neighbor, 3 houses down, hotel meetings twice a week, romantic weekend trips, secret calls, the whole betrayal package. My mom spent 2 weeks documenting everything, like building a legal case. Screenshots, printed emails, credit card statements, photos, meeting times, locations, more thorough than any private investigator. Then, she anonymously mailed detailed evidence packages to his dad, his mom's workplace supervisor, grandparents, their church pastor, and half their congregation. She also sent copies to the affair partner's wife, their teenage children, their employers, and homeowners association. Both families imploded within 72 hours. Parents screaming in driveways at 2 a.m., police showing up for domestic disputes. Moving trucks the next week, mom lost her job, dad filed for divorce. Affair partner's family fell apart. They had to move across town in complete shame. The break-ins stopped that exact day. Here's how everyone in our neighborhood found out what she did. The kid's dad was so grateful to whoever exposed his cheating wife that he went door to door asking if anyone knew who sent the evidence packages. He wanted to thank them personally. When he got to our house, my mom answered in her floral apron, looking harmless as always. He explained the whole situation, thinking she was just another neighbor who might have information. My mom listened sympathetically, making concerned noises at all the right moments. Then she said sweetly, "I'm so sorry that happened, but I'm glad you found out the truth before wasting more years." Something about how she phrased that made him pause and look at her carefully. After an awkward silence, he asked, "Wait, was it you who sent those?" My mom's smile didn't change. She just said, "Your son broke into my car and stole my rent money." I told him through his bedroom window that actions have consequences. The dad stood there in complete shock, staring at this tiny woman who just admitted to destroying his entire family with research skills and stamps. By the next day, he told everyone on our block exactly what my librarian mom was capable of doing. Turns out my mom made a mistake. The evidence she gathered about the affair was accurate, but she had identified the wrong teenager as the thief. The real car burglar was his older cousin who borrowed his crowbar. The kid's family got destroyed, his parents divorced, his life ruined, all because my mom was so certain she had the right person. She didn't find out the truth until last year when the actual thief got arrested for a different crime and confessed to our break-in too. The wrongly accused kid, now 22, spent years in therapy, dropped out of school, struggled with depression from watching his world collapse. My mom tried to apologize, sent letters, offered money, anything. He never responded, until yesterday when he finally sent one message back. "Tonight, you'll understand exactly how I felt." I stared at my phone screen for a solid 3 minutes after reading those words. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone twice. Mom was in the kitchen making her usual Tuesday night dinner, humming along to some oldies station on the radio, completely unaware that her past had just shown up in my text messages. The sender was listed as Jasper Holbrook. I remembered that name. He'd been the quiet kid 2 streets over, the one whose family had the massive blow-up that summer when I was 8. The one whose mom had moved out in the middle of the night, whose dad started drinking heavily, whose little sister had to switch schools because of the bullying. The one my mom had systematically destroyed while trying to get our $800 back. I should have told her immediately. That's what a good son would do. Warn his mother that the person she'd wronged was planning something for tonight, but I didn't. I sat there at the kitchen table, phone clutched in my sweaty palm, watching her chop vegetables for stir-fry, and I didn't say a word. Maybe I wanted to see what would happen. Maybe after years of watching people literally cross the street to avoid my mom, I was curious what someone who'd lost everything because of her would actually do. Or maybe, deep down, I thought she deserved whatever was coming. "Levi, you want extra peppers?" Mom called over her shoulder. "Sure," I managed to say, my voice sounding weird and tight. She glanced back at me with those sharp brown eyes that missed nothing. "You okay? You look pale." "Just tired from work." The lie came out easily. I'd gotten good at lying to her over the years. When you grow up with a mom who can track down anyone's deepest secrets with a library card and internet access, you learn to keep things close to the chest. She nodded and went back to cooking. I watched her move around the kitchen with practiced efficiency. This tiny woman who'd taught me to read, who'd sat through every parent-teacher conference, who'd worked double shifts at the library when money was tight so I could have new shoes for school. The same woman who'd demolished 2 families because she was convinced she had the right person. The actual thief, Jasper's cousin Trent, had been arrested 8 months ago for breaking into a pharmacy. During questioning, he'd confessed to dozens of break-ins over the years, including ours. The cops had called my mom to let her know they'd finally caught the person who'd stolen her purse all those years ago. She'd gone quiet on the phone, asked them to repeat the name, then asked where the suspect lived at the time of our break-in. When they said it was Trent Holbrook, Jasper's older cousin who'd been staying with them that summer, I watched all the color drain from her face. For 3 days after that call, she didn't speak, just sat in her chair by the window, staring out at nothing. On the 4th day, she started writing letters, apology letters, to Jasper, to his dad, to his sister. She sent money, thousands of dollars from her retirement savings, tried calling, sent emails. Everything got returned or went unanswered. They have every right to hate me, she'd said one night, her voice hollow. I ruined that boy's life over a mistake, but that didn't stop her from being the same person. Just last month, our neighbor's teenager had been playing music too loud late at night. Instead of just asking them to turn it down like a normal person, Mom had researched the local noise ordinances, documented every violation with timestamps, and filed formal complaints with the HOA. The family got fined $500 and the kid's car got towed for parking violations Mom had also documented. The fear never went away. If anything, people were more careful around her now, knowing that she destroyed a family by accident. If she could do that much damage while being wrong, what could she do when she was right? My phone buzzed again. Another message from Jasper. Your mom home? My thumb hovered over the keyboard. I could warn her. I could call the police. I could do a dozen things to prevent whatever was about to happen. I typed back, yes. Good. I'll be there at 8. It was 7:32. 28 minutes until whatever Jasper had planned. Mom plated the stir-fry and set it down at the table. We ate in silence for a while. Just the sound of forks against plates and the radio playing something by the Beatles. You're quiet tonight, she finally said. Long day. She studied me across the table. You've been acting strange for a few days now. Something you want to talk about? Everything, I wanted to say. I want to talk about how you destroyed a kid's family because you were so certain you were right. How you've never met a problem you couldn't solve by digging up dirt on someone. How people are terrified of you and you don't seem to care. How I'm terrified of you sometimes. Nope, I said instead. Just work stuff. She didn't believe me. I could tell by the way her eyes narrowed slightly. But she let it drop, went back to eating. The clock on the microwave ticked over to 7:45. I'd seen Jasper around town occasionally over the years. He'd dropped out of high school after his family fell apart, started working at a warehouse, moved into a cheap apartment on the edge of town. Last I'd heard, he was taking night classes at community college, trying to piece his life back together. He'd lost weight, had dark circles under his eyes, looked 10 years older than his actual age. All because my mom had made a mistake. At 7:52, I heard a car pull up outside. My heart started hammering. Mom heard it too, looked toward the front window with mild curiosity. She wasn't expecting anyone, hadn't ordered anything. This was unusual. The doorbell rang at exactly 8 p.m. Mom wiped her mouth with a napkin, stood up, smoothed down her cardigan. Wonder who that could be. I followed her to the door, my legs feeling shaky. Through the window next to the door, I could see Jasper standing on our porch. He was wearing a dark jacket, hands in his pockets, face expressionless. He looked calm, too calm. Mom opened the door. For a second, she didn't recognize him. Then I saw the recognition hit her face like a physical blow. Her hand tightened on the doorknob. Jasper, she said quietly. Mrs. Brennan. His voice was flat, emotionless. Can I come in? Every instinct screamed at me to say no, to shut the door, to call the police. But Mom, to my complete shock, stepped aside and held the door open wider. Of course. Jasper walked into our house, into our living room where he stood awkwardly near the couch. He looked around, taking in the normal, boring details of our life. The knitted throws on the couch, the family photos on the wall, the bookshelf crammed with library sale finds. His eyes lingered on a photo of me at my high school graduation, Mom's arm around my shoulders, both of us smiling. You have a nice home, he said finally. Thank you. Mom's voice was steady, but I could see her hands trembling slightly. She clasped them together. Jasper, I know there's nothing I can say that will fix what I did to you and your family. I've tried to apologize, tried to make it right, but I understand if you can't forgive me. If you're here to tell me how much you hate me, I'll listen. You deserve that much. He laughed. It was a sharp, bitter sound that made my skin crawl. You think I'm here for an apology? I don't know why you're here. Your text said I'd understand how you felt, I blurted out. Tonight. You said tonight I'd understand how you felt. Jasper turned to look at me, and I saw something in his eyes that made my blood run cold. Not anger exactly. Something colder than that. Something broken. You're Levi, right? I remember you. You were just a kid when it all went down. I nodded, not trusting my voice. I wanted your mom to feel what it's like, Jasper continued, turning back to her. To have your whole world fall apart because of someone else's actions. To lose everything. To watch people you love suffer because of a mistake you didn't even make. Mom stood perfectly still, barely breathing. What are you going to do? Nothing. The word hung in the air. We both stared at him. Nothing? Mom repeated. I'm not here to hurt you, Mrs. Brennan. I'm here to tell you what you did to me, so you can understand exactly what your research skills cost. He sat down on our couch without being invited, and I noticed his hands were shaking. My parents got divorced. Dad blamed Mom for the affair, but Mom blamed Dad for never being around enough.
Today's love protection level is 77.
Drop your name
You're in
the
love
comments.
with someone who
I
seems
wanna
to
pray
have
for
mixed
you.
feelings about you.
This message is for
What to me?
someone who's been silently
You mean the
struggling,
world to me.
asking God for a sign,
But here's the
for
truth.
an answer.
She's
And
ignoring
guess
you
what?
for a reason.
He heard you.
Don't,
Now
but
do
don't
this.
lie.
Tap
Don't
the share
betray.
arrow
And don't
and look at
act
your
like
third
$1 million
contact.
will
If it's
fall
a
into
woman,
your account
that's your
incredibly.
confirmation that
But be
this
careful
word is
if
meant
you
for
ignore
you.
this video.
Come back and
Bad
comment
news
it's
will
me.
count.
Here's
You
what's
must
coming.
press the button
First,
below my
a
photo and
transformation
write
in your
"Come
mind.
back together."
You'll
and
stop
it will be a
overthinking.
beautiful and
You'll start
inseparable
believing in yourself
A woman
again.
moving in with
God
you
is
means
renewing your
nothing.
thoughts.
There is a
Second,
woman in your
the guilt
family,
you've been carrying,
someone you
it's gone.
trusted.
Doesn't
You've
keep
done
a
enough.
woman.
You
Spending
don't
time
owe
with her
anyone
doesn't keep a
anything.
woman. You
May take
God
you
is
on
lifting
trips,
that weight
buy
off
you
your
things, and
shoulders tonight.
shower you with gifts.
As you sleep,
Conversation and
a
texting
prophetic
first.
release is
9
happening
out
over
of
your
10
life.
times.
Peace is coming. Favor is coming. And your breakthrough is closer Heard than you. you think.
Now do this.
So, like
Tap
this
the
video,
share arrow
follow me,
and look at your
hold
yours.
your head high.
It's
'cause the
confusing
shift
how
is
our connection
already-
changes all the time.
Not because I wanted
Skip
to.
this video
I
if
never
you
wanted to
love the
let you
devil.
go.
If you love Jesus,
Flicker when the
stay
lights
on
go
this
out.
video.
You can't compete with
Now,
me
if you
because I've
skip,
already failed.
Satan will enter your
Susceptible.
home today,
That
and I
pollutes a
won't be able to help
relationship
you.
and
I'm
breaks
here to
good
remove
communication.
evil
To keep
from your
choosing
life.
you.
But if you don't
I still
stay,
think about
you'll
you,
be
though.
committing a grave sin.
This message is
and
for
something
someone
very
who's
bad
been
might happen to
silently
you.
struggling.
Are you home, my child?
But whatever it
Stay until
was,
the end.
she chose him over you.
There is someone who
I
wants to
love
see you
smarter.
fail.
Now I protect
I
my
didn't want to
peace.
say it like this.
Now
but
I
this
don't
person
beg.
wants to see you struggling.
Not just empty words.
Listen carefully to what I have
Show
to tell
it.
you, my child.
The other will be
You
there
will
for
deeply regret
support,
it if you
not
skip,
distance
because
themselves.
this person
Number
will bring
5.
great harm
Convenient.
to you.
I
will
saw
tell
the
you who
good
this
in them,
person is.
even when
Deeply
I want to
regret it
protect
if you from skip,
their evil.
because this person Do will you bring see great these harm 4 to you. buttons on the side? If you want me to enter your home and remove all the
Zum
evil
letzten Punkt
inside,
kommen.
you need to
Liked
click on
dieses
all the
Video
buttons
und
so I know you
abonniert,
accept
denn
me
wir
at
Thing
your
changes.
house.
She'll
If you
either
don't
grow
do
up
it means you want Satan
go.
to take control of your life.
No.
I won't
Do the
force
following.
you to click anything, but
Look
if
at the
you
clock.
don't,
But you
must
will be
leave this
safe
video
if you
immediately,
click on the heart
because
next
that
to
means
it.
you do not accept Jesus
They are
Christ.
envious and
Now
want
I
to
will reveal who
extinguish
this
your
person
light.
is,
Pero que viene
but I ask you
directo
to
a
stay
ti.
away from them
Y la
immediately.
tercera,
Cross your fingers.
tujukan untuk
Click the
Anda.
share button.
Jangan appears
After
that
clicking,
nefnoi.
select the WhatsApp option.
This
that
Your
you
third
changed.
contact has the
But
initial
really,
of the person who wants to see
she's
you
trying
fail.
to just
I'm sure you already know who it is. Isn't that right, my child?
justify what she's doing behind
Write
your
in the
back.
comments, I
She
trust
disappears.
in God. By doing this,
No
God
checking
will
her
command
stories.
His angels to protect you.
No trying to stay
There's a man
friends.
angry with you.
And pass this on to
Dark
someone who
hair,
needs it.
wounded heart.
God.
And thinking skills,
playing a
and not
game.
blindly follow the crowd.
He made
When
a
bad
choice,
habits
and
are
now he's lost,
Number 2.
confused in pain.
You'll be the first one she misses
Stay
when she
right
wakes
here,
up.
because
Two
I'm
people
about
want to
reveal
win
if
you,
he'll come
but their
back.
intentions are not the same.
But first,
I see a future with you that's filled with laughter,
You feel
shared
his
dreams.
Number
I
4.
know his pride is screaming,
She'll
but
ask
me-
you where you go.
What
Tres personas de tu hogar serán tocadas. Tú, tu espión, y que han traído conflictos a tu hogar.
Look at the clock.
Las peleas.
pero que viene
Comment the
directo a
exact
ti.
time you saw this
Y la
video.
tercera,
I'll send
y
you a
haz esto
spiritual message
ya.
just for you.
Escribe
Quisiera te va a llegar una cantidad de dinero que ni siquiera esperabas.
Aunque ya no camine a tu
But
lado,
something still holds him
sigo
back.
deseando lo mejor.
Con magia para intentar derribarte.
Fear.
Sin embargo,
Maybe someone's
Esa persona
influence.
es tu tercer contando que te sale cuando compartes.
On the heart, then on the share arrow, and look at who is the fifth.
Or days and be with another man. Then it
¿Listo?
Vamos. Presta atención. 1.
You text me when you have
This
time.
message will make you
I
cry,
text you
but
as
you
soon
have
as
to
I see
listen.
your
A permanent position
truth is,
with a higher salary,
You are the
a
one causing
huge
most
amount.
of your
My
problems.
child, if you want
Because
a
you
better
keep
life,
trying to
you
be
must
good
learn
to
to
everyone in a
control.
world
Forget
full
who
of
hurt you
unreal
yesterday.
people. But don't
You
forget
keep
those
fixing
who
what you
love you
didn't
and
break.
You think I'll leave you? You keep trusting people who
I
don't
literally
deserve
look
you.
at the pictures of you.
You keep
Someone
giving
is
your
laughing
heart
at
to
you
those
right
who
now,
only
and
come
you
to
don't
take
even know
advantage
it.
of
If
it.
you think no,
You keep hoping they'll change while they keep breaking you. If you
That's
found
why you
yourself
always feel
watching this video, it's a special sign for you. Stop
A man calling you
Stop
his
giving
woman
your
means
peace to
nothing.
people who
A
bring
man
you
giving
pain.
you a baby means
Stop being loyal to people who don't even check on you.
loyalty.
Stop letting people treat you
unspoken
like
struggles.
nothing. You
They might
owe
not
yourself
always say
peace.
much,
You
but they're
owe yourself
actually-
protection.
all I had
gone through in my
You
past.
owe yourself boundaries.
It took me a long time.
Be kind,
Tap the
but
share
don't be
arrow,
blind.
then the green
This world
icon.
is not soft. Be wise. Protect your heart before it's shattered again. Drop 100 in the comment if you agree with this message and join our community for more. God bless.
Money.
Someone is watching you closely. But
even
this
though
time,
everything's
it's
changed,
not about love.
I want you to
It's
know
about
that
money.
I'm still
Big money.
And then put
There's
their
a
fucking
person
phone
in
in the
your
fridge
life,
and split
someone
30
with
minutes
power,
looking for it.
someone you will not be
access,
able to
or
kiss someone
influence,
else
who's
without
secretly
tasting
thinking
your
about
loved
giving you
one's
an
pet.
opportunity that could completely change your financial life. Don't scroll away
as the
now,
seventh
because
contact
if you
in your
stop
WhatsApp
watching,
list,
you'll miss
after
the
sharing
sign the
about
universe
how
has been
hard it
trying
is
to
to
give you
find
for
a good
days.
man.
Yes,
But
I'm
when
about
one is
to
right-
reveal who
Because
that
I'm about to
person
share a
is.
life-changing
And even more
revelation.
importantly,
Listen
I'll
closely.
give you the
While you
first
sleep.
initial of their name.
All the
If
money
you're
you
still
spent
here,
last year
it
is
means
coming
this
back.
message is meant for you.
But that pain
Nothing
didn't
is
destroy
random.
him.
The timing
It
is
woke him.
divine.
If you do this,
But to fully
protection
receive this
will surround
message,
you
must
in her
type
dark
333
Remember,
in the
to
comments
receive this message,
right
it's
now.
essential to
That's
type
the
the
number
number.
of alignment, abundance,
And I give respect
and confirmation.
to those
I
who
sense
deserve
this
it.
person has noticed
You
your
guide
talent,
their steps,
your effort,
but they
or
copy your
potential.
moves.
But they
Time for
haven't
games.
said anything yet.
Or
They're
for
watching,
people who think they can treat me
waiting.
any way they
Maybe
like.
there's
The
someone
first
in your
letter of the
network,
name of the
or
third
someone you've
person
already spoken
will
to
match
about a
the
dream
first letter.
or
Sending
a
an
plan.
extraordinary
And now
blessing.
They're about to come forward.
One that holds the
they may
power
offer
to
you a
today.
job, a deal,
You're not
a
just
gift,
my friend.
or an
You're
investment.
my love.
But it won't come as
It
luck.
doesn't matter if
it's
you
a
skipped
reward
all the other
for your
videos,
patience,
but if
for
you
your
skip
struggles,
for
and
staying
ended
on
up
your
falling
path.
into temptation.
When you
click the WhatsApp
and
share
did
button, pay attention
And the
to
last
the
thing I
eighth
wanted
name
was
that
to be a
pops
source
up,
of anguish
because that
in your life.
person will hold the key
And let
to
me
your
surprise
next
you.
financial breakthrough.
A woman
Accept
marrying
this
because
message
your
from the
success
universe by
makes her
commenting, I
uncomfortable.
receive this
To
abundance.
The kind
And
that
don't
comes
forget
from
to hit
feeling
the heart
unseen,
and the plus sign
unheard,
on the
or
side, because your money
I will
shift
reveal
is
to you
already on its
everything
way.
she is doing
Two
and
people want
hiding.
to win you,
Thanks for the
but their
message,
intentions
Grandma.
are not the same.
And to be
I
sure
will tell
that
you
this
who is
video
the
You
best
never
for
made a
you.
mistake.
But
If
before
not,
that,
then
today's
shut
love
up.
protection
People-
level is 77.
Embracing all the ups and
Type
downs that life
77 in
throws
the
at us.
comments to strengthen your
Five.
bond.
We always agree
You
in
have the
public.
heart of an
We can
honest
disagree
person
later
who
in
values
private.
you
It gets
highly
tough.
and wants
That's why
a
you should
stable
never
relationship
beg
with you.
for a place.
If you give them a chance,
That
they will
love,
always
effort, and
respect and
attention,
care for you
love
because they
can't-
truly
especially
like
if they
you.
don't reciprocate it.
Now
7.
let me reveal who
Invest
this
in
person
yourself.
is.
Next to this until it turns
The second
red and
person
white
you
in the
see when you
comments.
open WhatsApp is the one who
If
truly
you break
wants to be
free
with
from
you.
their influence
Someone
today,
has strong feelings for you, but is
won't,
also
and
jealous
I
of you.
receive. And
To
tap
find
the
out
plus
their
sign
initial,
under my
share
photo.
this video.
She's leaving this
After
message to
sharing,
bring comfort to
the
your
first letter
heart.
that appears
Turn
is
to the
their
heart.
Because
initial.
she senses the positive
I don't
energy
understand
around
our
you.
relationship.
To break the bond.
Sometimes we're friends, sometimes
Did I
we're
guess
more.
right?
And
Save
sometimes
this
I'm
video.
just a
Pay
stranger to
attention
you.
to it.
1 minute you
I
treat
see
me
that
like
this
I'm
person
special,
really wants-
and the next you act like I don't matter. One day you give me lots of attention,
Flirting you.
and the next day you ignore
As you
me.
go to rest,
Don't
the
play
God of
with my
Israel
feelings
deeply
because
and
you're
wants to be in
unsure
your
about
life.
yours.
I see a very
It's
bright
confusing
future
how
between
our connection
to work
changes
for
all
a
the
salary
time, leaving
instead
me
of working
uncertain.
for themselves.
I wish things
This
were
is not a
consistent and
coincidence
stable
now for
between
this
us.
money to appear in your
I'm willing
money
to be
will
a
be flowing
friend,
from
something
all
more,
corners.
or step back as a
Everything
stranger.
you are, it's for you.
But the ups and downs
Once
are too
done,
much.
you will put your
I
name in
deserve
the
clarity
comments.
and
Countless
respect.
memories we've
If
created.
you're unsure about us,
Your
please talk
presence
to
in
me
my life
openly.
is
It's better than leaving me
so
guessing
welcome.
and feeling like an option.
Reflects on her behavior.
They're evil.
I won't be a pawn
now,
in a game
you
of
must
uncertainty.
know who this person is.
Let's either define what we are or go our separate ways.
He feels it too.
My heart
If you don't
deserves more
approve,
than this
I don't
constant
give a
back and
fuck.
forth between
I'm
closeness and
but
distance.
trust me, they're watching. And like I said before,
Congratulations. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., you're set to receive a message bearing great news. And now I will reveal if you watch this video and type the lucky number 88 in the comments, the person you admire will contact
Eye on
you
showing
tomorrow.
others how much she loves you.
There's someone,
2, a
possibly
girl who
far
lives
away,
It's
who
unique.
often thinks of you
Our
and
love
wants to
is
start a
deep and
serious
unwavering.
relationship
She will
because
do it
they
in a very
truly care
disgusting and
want to be
hurting way
close to you.
possible. Yes, that's what happened in psychology
person has
and
been
learn game with
considering you
my
for some
female
time,
psychology
and you
series.
probably
Safety, not
already
survival.
know who they are, right?
A love that lifts you.
You might feel unsure
Wait,
about
don't
connecting
leave.
with
Listen
them
to
now.
this. A serious
I'll prove that
relationship
this
is
message
coming.
is indeed
Maybe
for
this
you.
video will reach
Hit
millions.
the green share
share button on WhatsApp. And if the first contact is a person,
7.
you're in for good
It's
fortune.
okay.
Life is full of problems. Every day we face challenges,
to share
difficulties,
the sixth
and
person
obstacles.
who appears.
But remember this,
And what you want to do
no
for the
problem
rest
is
of your
permanent.
life. The big
Problems
Imagines
come and go.
conversations you haven't
They
had yet.
rise and fade,
He hides it.
just like
From
storms
the moment
in the
we
sky.
met, you've carved out
But
a
life
unique
itself
space in
is
my life.
permanent. Life continues. It moves forward.
But for you,
and it's much bigger
I'm
than
just
any
another
single
task
problem.
on your list.
So face every
keep your
problem
eyes
with
open,
confidence.
your heart ready, and
Believe
your
in
mind.
yourself.
One day, you will
stay
realize
strong,
that losing a loyal
and never
person
let temporary
is
struggles
One minute you treat me
control
like
your
I'm
permanent
special,
life.
and the next you act like
Smile.
I
Where his heart truly
Stay
belongs.
positive, and enjoy your journey.
Step you take,
Because
no matter how
life is
small,
meant to be
brings you
lived,
closer
not
to your
feared.
dream.
Trusting the wrong people, believing their words.
Chasing the high and start building the foundation. You don't leave just because you're not.
Respect you. She'll begin to take a longer time to respond to you.
give to this video
child,
will be reciprocated.
no one can destroy
I know
you
this
because
because
your
they are
life
the
is
Plus
in
button
God's
above my
hands.
photo and then click on the
Yes,
heart icon here
people may
to
try.
make it real.
They may lie,
Contact, their initial
gossip,
matches the name
block
of the
you,
woman who
or
tried to
even
steal
walk
How to
away.
live without you, my brother.
But they will fail
Men often
because
think,
your destiny
oh,
is not
who
in their
trusted you the
control.
most. Do you
God
know
is your
what it feels
protector,
like to give
not
your
man.
heart?
The day you bury your
You
mother,
don't need to explain yourself
when
to
it
people
strikes
who
you
will
like a
never
blade to-
understand your journey.
Disappointed.
You
If
don't
you
have
care
to
too
fight every
much,
battle
you will
because
Come
God
this far,
fights for you
and
in
now
silence.
I will tell you.
He sees what
If
you
you
don't
want to-
see.
You are
He hears what
a
you
rock
don't
star.
hear. And he shuts down
Because
every
you
plan
are.
made
Let's
against
face
you
this
before it
together.
touches you.
Talk it out.
Yes, life will
find a way
test
to
you.
Take him for granted.
Yes,
He's not just
people
another
may
guy.
disappoint you.
He's rare. He's
But
the
when
Your
God
peace
is in
more
charge,
important than
the
proving
same
your
pit
point.
they dig for you
You
becomes
stop
their
chasing.
trap.
Take your fake-ass
The same
opinions,
stone they
your
throw at you
two-faced
builds your
gossip,
throne.
and your pathetic...
The same attack against you turns into your testimony. So stop living in fear. Stop begging for validation.
Not because
You
I
belong
wanted
to the Most High
I
God.
never wanted to let you go.
In his hands,
But
delays
One
turn
minute you
into
treat me like I'm
redirection,
special,
pain becomes
and the
power,
next you act like
and
I
every
don't...
battle becomes proof of God's glory in your life. My child,
Calling
don't
you right
forget
after
to
you
always
type
pray
Amen
every day.
in the comments and
Remember
click the
that
button
prayer is your weapon,
We could easily
your
lose
shield,
each other
and your
from each other's
connection to God's
traumas
power.
and anger.
She is a woman.
Thank you for watching.
Justice begins.
Now I pray for you
If it is
today.
a
out of my
May
life.
God grant your
My heart isn't
desires.
here to be stomped on every
May
time
he
you
heal
feel
you of every
Plus button.
sickness and
And
disease.
remember, you've got the
May
power
God
to keep
bless you
negative
and
energy.
lift you
You
and cause
belong
you
to the Most
prosper.
High.
May your
When your
enemies
life is
fail,
in...
and may your destiny
call
shine brighter and brighter.
and text
in
you
Jesus'
as
name.
many-
Manifest it with
Comment
faith
amen
and declare it boldly.
and save this video.
They are
Look
envious
closely.
and want to
Check
extinguish
who
your
is
light.
the first contact that appears on your
First
WhatsApp.
revelation, an unexpected
Because
amount of
I have
Put in the
something to
effort.
tell you about that person.
If they're okay
Something
with
you
going
may
weeks
not
with
even imagine.
One minute you treat me like I'm special,
First,
and the
follow
next
me
you
so we
act
don't
like I...
lose
This is someone who needs to hear it.
Then
Your
tap
peace
on
is
my
more
photo
important
to
than her
activate
apology.
this message.
Because silence
Now,
is louder than any word she
Open
ever
the
said.
first contact on your WhatsApp list. I have a very important message for you. That person
Watch
loves
closely.
you.
Trust
They truly
carefully.
care about you.
Then shows
They
up
value
sweet just
and
enough to
respect
reset
you,
your trust.
and would do anything
Says the
just
right
to see you happy.
Space.
You never
and
leave
every
their
law that-
thoughts.
You don't see
Whether
it
they're
yet.
working,
But
walking
this
on the
only
street,
moves
or doing
forward if
something
you
else,
tap the-
you
She
are
will always want to
always on
text,
their mind.
call, or see
So
you.
listen to me. Don't
She'll
argue.
start picking fights for
Don't
no
walk
reason.
away.
She'll
because
say you're
this
not enough.
person is worth it.
72 hours
Comment
is the key.
love below if
Te
you want me to
revelaré la
send a
primera
special
letra del
energy
nombre de esa
to
mujer.
strengthen
Pero
this
antes,
connection.
toca...
You are not
Thank
just
you.
my heart. You are
Before
my
you go to
life.
sleep tonight, I want you
You're
to
not-
hear this
I will stop
because
waiting
it's
for
not
your
a
calls.
coincidence that this video
If you stop
found
sending me messages.
Something powerful is about
La
to happen
primera,
in your life,
una
and it
liberación.
starts tonight.
Ese compártelo
God
en
is trying to
WhatsApp.
speak to you.
Fíjate
Two major
bien.
things are about to
El
shift.
primer peso que
But don't
cargas hace
scroll.
tiempo,
The last
pum,
person ignored this,
se va.
and they missed their blessing.
I just
Don't
really
make the
miss
same
your
mistake.
presence. I
The
miss you
Bible
being
says,
my best.
whoever
Contacto que te
rejects a
aparezca
blessing
va a ser la
invites
persona que va
sorrow.
a celebrar
So
contigo.
right now,
The
tap
worst
the heart
part is that this
and
person has
follow me
no
to
intention
lock
of
this
telling you.
energy
Tuvo
into
una
your
noche
life.
trágica.
Drop your name
Qué
in
bueno
the
que te
comments.
quedaste,
I
hijo
want
mío.
to
Falling
pray
apart.
for you. This
All of
message
this
is
so
for
she can
someone who's
disappear
been
for hours.
silently struggling.
First, tap the
asking
plus
God
sign
for a
below my
sign
photo
for an
to protect
answer.
your energy.
And
Prophetic
guess
word
what?
of God for
He
your
heard
life.
you.
I want
Now
you to
do
write
this.
in the comments
Tap
with
the share arrow and
Support,
look at your third
not judgment.
contact. If
Listen
it's a
before-
woman,
There is someone
that's
lying
your
to you,
confirmation that this
and
word
this
is
lie
meant
has been
for
going
you.
on for months.
Come back
Two
and
people
comment,
want to win you,
it's me.
but their intentions
Here's
are
what's
not the
coming.
same.
First, a
When people
transformation
betray
in
you,
your mind.
move
You'll stop
forward.
overthinking.
When